What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another video in the how-to series. Now we are talking about Nico Minoru, one of the new champions added to the Titan Crystal. I absolutely love Nico. She is such an incredibly powerful character. Arguably like the most meta-defining mystic we've had in a long time, with that buff immunity and how consistently she can keep that up and prevent the opponents from getting buffs. She's incredibly strong. She is very, very safe to use, and she's got solid damage. So let's just get right into it. So let's go into the testing map and start to fight some of her best matchups. Now, I want to make something clear at the start of this video. Nico has these pre-fight spells. Now, these spells, let me do a little relic swap here, because I actually swapped on my main account for the Ghost Rider relic. Nico has these spells. Now, these spells, as pre-fight abilities, can only trigger once per quest, or if you're in a battleground situation, for the match. So you absolutely do not need to trigger these pre-fights for Nico to be as insane as she is, but in a battleground situation or a war situation where you need her for one specific fight, or like a final boss where you want to start the fight with a bit of an advantage, this is where these pre-fights come into play. So let's go fight Dark Phoenix, arguably her best targeted matchup. And I am going to start with the pre-fights, but I will do the next fight with Nico without the pre-fights. So Nico has this adrenaline consumption mechanic where if you use a heavy attack, you consume some of your health to gain adrenaline. You gain this Zeal passive, which prevents your adrenaline from falling off, and you gain a Fury for the percentage of adrenaline that you consumed. So I believe it's like every 5% of her health that she loses from that heavy consumption mechanic, she gains a Fury passive. So as you can see, we are just absolutely going to town here on Dark Phoenix. We're not really caring about anything that's happening. We're just casually going Special 1, Special 2. Again, we have the buff immunity already, so we don't have to worry about that needing to be applied from like the Special 2, because if you don't have the buff immunity applied from the start, you will apply it on the final hit of the Special 2. And we prevented Dark Phoenix from ever triggering any buffs and also placing any Nova Flames on us. That was 40 seconds for Dark Phoenix. Pretty ridiculous. Pretty solid. So now let's look at that same matchup without the pre-fights active. So what I like to do in non-pre-fight matches is build up like one heavy attack at the start to get some power, and then essentially block baiting my way up to a Special 2 so that I can throw my Special 2, get the buff immunity, and then spam Special 1s pretty much for the rest of the fight. Especially in short form content. I forgot to go for my heavy at the start. So, heavy at the start, and now we're just blocking to build up additional power. Go for a little intercept there. Full combo into Special 2. Here's all the poisons. There's the buff immunity. Dex the Special 2. And now I want to go for Special 1. So I'm going to heavy cancel into my relic, and then heavy cancel into my Special 1 to give myself additional Fury. I'm going to try to miss this Special 2. Perfect. Going for another Special 1. And then one more full combo into Special 1. Seals the deal. The Special 1 deals additional burst damage for every damaging effect on the opponent, up to, I believe, 10 damaging effects. We can check that right now. Yeah, up to 10 damaging effects, she deals bursts of energy damage, and after the final hit, she gains an invisibility passive for 4 seconds. If she is struck while the invisibility is active, so if an opponent misses, it goes on cooldown. And when struck while invisible from the Awakened ability, she passively gains 1,000 health at the current signature level I have as Adrenaline, so you can actually net gain health if you have Nico Awakened. Additionally, she pauses personal effects during special attacks from the Awakened ability, and also inflicts a poison passive whenever a buff fails on the opponent due to buff immunity. She doesn't inflict that when she is not awakened. The poison passive is specifically from the Awakened ability. So Very, very cool. So now let's fight the bigger Dark Phoenix with the pre-fight, and then we'll go on to more matchups with Nico here. Unworthy is absolutely essential for matchups like this, and then I like Absorb as well because it allows you to gain more adrenaline from blocked hits. So if you're taking some block damage, you're going to gain more adrenaline, which you can just consume right back into health. So go for my heavy attack, go for my full combo, go for another little intercept combo there. Her throwing that is totally a non-factor. We have enough poisons to completely negate anything that she would do. The more special ones she throws, the more buff she gains. So now I'm going to just start throwing special one. Going to start heavy canceling into like my relic here to gain my Furies. You don't want to heavy cancel too much because then you lose more health and you can't gain all of it back from the adrenaline. So you want to be careful with your heavy counters. But you can maintain 3 to 4 Furies pretty consistently with Nico and not have to worry about like losing too much health. So as you can see, it did a little heavy counter there, and I finished with almost a full yellow bar against that larger version of Dark Phoenix in less than a minute. The pre-fights are just essential for making fights go faster because you're automatically starting with that ramp, with that buff immunity debuff, and it just makes her absolutely fantastic. Now let's show off another great matchup for Nico. That is Serpent. So, especially with Serpent, you want to be running that Absorb spell because let's say you're fighting another Serpent in a match or like on a map somewhere, and you don't have the Unworthy spell. The Absorb spell is incredibly powerful for Serpent because it's going to increase the adrenaline you get while blocking, and blocking Serpent specials, you know, they hurt on block. So getting more adrenaline to convert into more health, you love to see it. Gonna go for our full combos here. Because we have the buff immunity active, Serpent cannot gain his true focus. So he's going to try to gain it, but he's going to fail. So I can freely dex Serpent Special 2, no problem. Throw my Special 1 to refresh the buff immunity. Use that little whiff to get an opening. Throw another Special 1. Those poisons are just ticking Serpent away. That fear is healing me. The stimulate is preventing me from losing too much health on block. Throw one more Special 1. We're going to cause Serpent to miss again for that entire Special 1. And then I dex it, and I combo, and Serpent is gone. No death immunity, no power gain, no more Fury. Serpent handled beautifully by Nico. And again, you can absolutely use Nico here without the pre-fights. Just need to build up to that Special 2. And you're probably going to take a little bit of extra chip damage because he's going to have access to that Fury prior to you taking it away with the buff immunity. So having her higher sig is going to allow you to heal more and more when fighting Serpent specifically. So one more matchup I'm going to show off for Nico, just like sort of her big 3 matchups to show off how to use her properly, is Deathless Thanos. So this is a matchup where you really want to prioritize getting that halt and keeping that halt up. So we're going to throw on the pre-fights here, the Unworthy and the Absorb spell. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw a Special 1 at the start of the fight. So we're going to start the fight by going for a little bit of a heavy attack, and then we're going to go for a Special 1 after I do another heavy cancel. So as you can see, if the opponent is Cosmic and they're immune to poison, Nico replaces the poison with an Acid Burn. And that can also be passive, as you're seeing right now. Go for a little bit of a heavy chain here. Get that Stimulate spell, cancel into my Special 2, gain all of that health back, massive Fury, increasing my damage. Throw the Special 1. He's going to get that Unstoppable, but it doesn't matter. Go for a little heavy attack here into the Relic, and that should be all she wrote for Mr. Deathless Thanos. There he goes. So a rank 4 Deathless Thanos with Nico handled in 50 seconds. He did not gain Unstoppable in a negative way for me one time. The increased ability accuracy still triggers the Unstoppable, and Halt like prevents opponents from being unstoppable when they are unstoppable, essentially. It's like a grit debuff, basically. So she handles that fight super, super well, and it just shows that, she handles the big three, the big four cosmic defenders with relative ease. I mean, she can handle Maestro as well. There's not a matchup in the cosmic class that she's really bad for. Like, she just works so incredibly well. You put on that unworthy spell at the start of a Battlegrounds match or the start of a war fight where you're only using Nico that one time, and you just soar. You just do so well, and you shut the opponent down. And as long as you're in control, as long as you're not letting, the debuffs fall off, you're kind of keeping the pressure on, you're going to succeed with Nico, and it's going to be a great time. So that is all I have to show you guys for the how to use Nico Minoru video. Let me know down in the comments below if you found this video helpful and what other characters you'd like to see me make how-to videos on. Currently, right now, I am working on getting a video out for Carolina Dean and also High Evolutionary, and if there is enough of a, like, rah-rah about another character in the comments of this video, then I will add them to that list. So, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like the content, and I really hope that you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and also hitting that like button. Both of those things are incredibly helpful for the channel, and it pushes the word out there to the YouTube algorithm that I'm making content people are enjoying. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.